What's going on, fight fans? It was Lawrence Okolie with a stoppage over Krzysztof Glowacki. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Tonight we had a fight in the cruiserweight division. It was Lawrence Okolie with a 6-round stoppage over Krzysztof Glowacki. Let's get right into it. Let's start with some pros and cons. Let's start with Krzysztof first. The only pro that I would give Krzysztof is that he seemed pretty game in there. Now let me jump into the cons. The cons would be that he did not seem to want to engage. He seemed that he was leery of Okolie's power, and that with that long jab, he was just not willing to move in and try to make anything happen. He seemed very reserved. I don't know if it was just because of the power or because of the range, but he didn't really do anything to try to get inside or try to mix the fight up. As far as Lawrence Okolie, let's start with the pros. I thought that he actually fought a beautiful fight tonight. He's 6'5". He used all of his height. You saw he was bent at the knees, but he didn't bend enough where he really gave up his height. He used his height. He used that long jab, and he used his right hand. And what I liked about Okolie is that he didn't stand right in front of Glowacki. What he did was he kind of stood at like about 180-degree angle, if you understand what I'm saying. He did have his foot in a proper place over Glowacki, but he stood at a 180-degree angle where he could throw his long jab and then loop that right hand, and he never was in any danger. As far as the cons for Okolie, nothing. I have no cons for him. I actually thought that he fought an A-level fight tonight. Let's get into the fight. This fight was all Okolie from the first round all the way up to the stoppage. He used his height. He used his jab. He placed his power. One of the things I loved that he did was he would throw the jab and then he would throw a looping right hand that looked like it was actually coming around the chest range, but he was really hitting Glowacki in the midsection in the solar plexus. Every now and then he would mix it up and he would go up top. Sometimes he would even throw the jab with the looping right to the body, and then he would come back with a left to the body. I thought that he used all of his tools. He kept Glowacki at bay. Glowacki never had a chance to get inside. The only time that Glowacki actually even exchanged was at the end of that 5th round. I think it was like 10 seconds left where he kind of lunged in and, he threw a few punches, which is what he really needed to do to get inside. But to me, Glowacki seemed very reserved. He just seemed like he just did not want to engage. I think that the length and the power kept him back, and he was just too timid to engage. The way that Okolie was throwing that right hand to the body reminded me of Roy Jones against Antonio Tarver in the first fight, where Roy would throw a jab up high, but then he would throw the right hand at a distance right to the middle of Tarver's body. Okolie did the same thing here with Glowacki. Then we moved to the 6th round, and Okolie is using his jabs, throwing the stick out there, and then he just throws. He sits down on that right foot, and he just throws a power right hand that caught Glowacki on the chin. He put him down. Yes, to Glowacki's credit, he got off, but the referee looked at Krzysztof in the corner and realized he could not continue. That was the end of the fight. And I believe that he was hurt so badly by the punch because he didn't see it coming. Now, watching the fight on the zone, you couldn't really see the angle because it was at Krzysztof's back. But when you saw the replay, you saw that it caught him right on the chin. And if you looked at it, he actually was dipping down as Lawrence was throwing the right hand, and it caught him on the chin. He didn't see it coming. He went down. That was the end of the fight. Let's move on to what happens for Lawrence Okolie from here. He said that he would like another fight or so and then move up to heavyweight. But he said that he would like to unify the cruiserweight division. Now, the guys in front of him would be Makabu and Bradis. Now, he mentioned Bradis a couple of times, so that made me think that he wants to go right for Bradis, and if he wins that fight, he can move up to heavyweight. But I wouldn't mind seeing him fight both of those guys. Let's see him fight Makabu, and then let's see him fight Bradis, and then let's see him move up to heavyweight. Look, he's 28. He can have both of those fights out of the way by the time he's 29 or 30 years old at the oldest, and then he can move up to heavyweight. And to be honest, with the skills that he showed tonight in this fight, I think that he would actually do well at heavyweight. He kind of reminds me of Usyk. He doesn't have the power that some of the big heavyweights have, just like Usyk doesn't have. But I think that those guys' boxing skills could prevail. Anyway, fight fans, tell me what you thought about the fight. Were you entertained by the fight? Do you agree with me that Lawrence dominated the fight from start to finish? Do you want to see him fight Makabu and Bradis, or do you want to maybe see him go straight for Bradis and then right up to heavyweight? Give me your comments. Tell me what you think. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. The reason why is because every time it does, we get to talk boxing. Other than that, fight fans, that's all I have. Holla at y'all later.